Hello friends, welcome back to the part 2 video of Superman's heat vision or eye glow effect. In my previous part, we have seen how to use this shot and track this in Mocha and adding those glowy effect in eyes using this kind of elements. And also we've seen how to add this kind of effect like subsurface and more details on the skin. And in this part, we're going to see rest of the comp work like adding more details on the skin like nearby his eyes and some extra elements and cinematic grading. And if needed, we can add some extra elements also. So let's get started. Let's add some 2D element there because this part of the shot looks quite empty and this is almost 1/3 of the part. I have this image here. I have downloaded this from the Pexels. This is free one. I will share the link in the description. Let's reformat this image. Take a keyer node. Let's pre-mult it and merge it on the shot. I will add defocus. Keep the values around 40 and I will grade this somewhat like this. And I will transform this image. Let's flip this image this side. Somewhat like this. I'll also add some smoke kind of feel on this fire. I'll take a noise, go to the first frame. I'll just transform the values. I'll keep it here and I'll put some of these values and display. Okay, I'll take a constant, make it grayish, keep it RGBA, make this alpha value 1, mask it, merge it on the fire, that kind of thing. But now this thing is not defocused. I will remove this from here and I will add it here, and I will mask this fire only on this area. I can grade it a bit, make it kind of bluish. This kind of elements you can keep playing, and once you're satisfied, just lock it or pre-comp it. Just make sure that you are not adding that element on the face, so you can use multiply or stencil and just use any roto on his face, or you can use depth, anything also. And now that part is not intersecting on his face. Now I want to add some highlights on his eyes on this area where we can show that light is interacting with this part of the eye. I'll take grade node. I will increase the white point. In gain, I will just make it more reddish and a roto. Something like this. I will use Mocha roto for this one. I have this roto from Mocha. I can use that. Any roto work you are seeing in the shot, I will be using from Mocha. Just select the shape you track and export shape data. I will take Nuke roto basics and copy to clipboard and simply paste it here. You have this roto. I'll just use that roto here. Okay, now this grade should not be affecting when the eyes are closed. So around this frame, I'll just turn this off. If I go to this frame, is keep the mix value 1, and as he closes eyes, it will get 0. Around 200 frame, it should be more brighter, so I'll take one more CC node. I'll connect it to the same mask and I will simply increase the contrast and a bit of gain. And this will affect only when the eyes are getting more brighter, like around 200 frame. We have kept it as is, and that's why I will keep it 0. And once we go to the frame 210 where eyes are getting more bright, I'll just turn on this value to 1. That means this CC node is affecting now. I have done that to other eyes well, like using this rotor from Mocha, and same thing. Now that grade are affecting on both the eyes. Now here comes the detailing part, like adding the eyelashes, because we are losing some of the important data from the footage, that is this eyelash, and those should be reading on top of our effect. So I can simply do a roto and cheat it. For that, I'll take a constant node and I'll just pick any color, like I'm going to pick this color and I will keep it RGBA, this constant. Let's use that as eyelash, like I'll just add it on top of my shot. View this shot before the constant. I'll go to frame 150 and I will take a roto. I'll draw a simple open spline and make it smaller, very thin, something like this. And I will duplicate it multiple times and I'll just keep adding those eyelashes. Now if I take this roto and merge it to this constant and make it mask and see it from here, you can see we're reading some of these eyelashes kind of shapes. You can duplicate this for multiple times. And once you have the enough shapes, then just view it from these again and make sure that this color grading is matching. Like I'll simply take a grade node and make it darker, and that is already looking good like an eyelash thing. Now this area is not blending with it. You can simply add a blur node and you can do some integration work there. If you have any other techniques like blending effect and all, you can do that too, but I'll simply take a blur node and make it more blurry here. Now it looks good. I'll just use Mocha tracker and I'll just apply that track on this constant, like on this element. I tracked this in Mocha and it's working good. And that's our eyelash work. Now I will go to the next part, like adding more details on the skin, like more subsurface thing which is glowing from inside. I'm going to use the same image that I used for the eyelid thing, like adding details on the eyelid. I'll copy this image. I'll take a transform. I'll make it smaller and let's add it on the image. Now this looks too solid. I'll just use key and pre-mult and just simply add it on the part that you want. Now I'm not going to use this single image. I need to duplicate this part for multiple times. For that I'll just take a mask node and make it unmask. I'll just use a roto. Now we can duplicate this everywhere, like here and somewhat like here, and just track it using the ST map. Spend some time and just edit this image for multiple times and masked it only that area I want, and now it's somewhat like this. I think I need to track this shot first and see how that looks, and we can add more details later, like on this area as well, but I'll just use the ST map that I have. I have this smart vector I can track using this. Looks good with the track, and let's add this area as well. I just took this image again, transformed it on that eye area and transformed this to the other part of the face and graded it and just masked it like 2 times and then placed it on that area. Both the sides are different defocus, like the focus is shifting from here to here, so we need to defocus it. And I'll take one more defocus. Now I have the separate defocus for the right part and the left part, and I can just animate that as per the plate. Now this image looks too static. I can use this element again, like, and if I see the alpha, it's like it has some kind of moving patterns. I can use this element to bring some motion or some kind of details are moving inside his skin. Now this MOV have only 108 frames. I'll just keep it on loop. It will not stop on 108 frames, so now that's good. I'll reformat it, take a shuffle node, I'll take alpha, I'll take a grade node and make the alpha stronger. I'll keep it RGBA and make it bit strong. And now I will take a grade node. Make sure that you are adding this grade before the track, because we want this pattern to be tracked along with the shot. Before the track, I will add this grade, take the mask of this grade, connect it to this alpha. We have to do some grade tweaks. I'll make the white point something like this. Let's see how that looks in motion. Let's transform this image, keep it here, make it big. Let's check the smart vector. Now we are not reading that animation in the pattern, because in smart vector this is set on hold frame by default. Just untick this one and you can read that animation. I spent some time and did some overall grading and all that stuff. Like this one takes a lot of time to think and do, so I just fast forwarded this one. I'll show what I did. I just did some grading stuff, like adding more detail to the shot. So we have seen this one, and after that I just did some transform masking, like extra parts here, and I did some grading here, like adding more reddish tone or making it more contrasty, like giving a more punch on that element. Also did some gamma tweaks, like if I keep it the default gamma, then it looks more flat, so I just took this value somewhere around here and kept it more contrasty. And same I did for this element as well, making it more contrasty. Playing again, like wanted to make it more hotter. I use this X Tesla. This is one of the Nuke plugin for lightning effect like this, but I did not use it like moving object. I just took one frame and used that as a matte to give that kind of vein shapes to the grade. If I see the image, you are reading this kind of patterns here. You can create that effect by simply doing a roto and making this kind of shape, or you can use any ground crack patterns as well. That, and we have seen this grade. I use this MOV and use that as a moving grade here. I added one blur here and make the values 33. I don't want to make it too sharp, so kept the blur values like that and used that grade. I was having some issues for the track, so this area is getting stretchy. That's why I took one more smart vector and projected it on the last frame and key mixed it using the key mix. I took only that area, so we are not getting that kind of stretchy image. Now if I see this element is looking kind of weird on this face, so let's see how to blend it using the blending technique. I will take the plate. I have connected this dot to the plate, but before the grading, and I will take a merge node, connect this B to the plate and A to the element that we have. And now I will just make this blending mode on multiply. We are reading this kind of thing and just view it from the plate, and I'll keep these values to less, like 0.15. Now this looks good already, but I will take a grade node and make it 0.75 something, and then this will be 3. Now we have this brighter field, and then I will just make it more. I will just create this gamma like this. If I just put it on the comp, it might look like this, but with this blending technique it looks more integrated. Okay, now I want to add some veins on the skin, like vein like structure. Using this paint node I can draw some shapes, like if I just merge this paint on the comp, take this brush node, I'll make this shape smaller, trace it on the vein structure that we have on this element. You don't have to be very precise, just make sure that you are just following these patterns. Once you are happy with the roto, I'll use a frame hold. I'll grab a grade node, I'll connect this mask to that paint veins we created. Now it's seeing red. I'll add a defocus node to make it blurry. This looks good, but we need some displacement on that. For that, I will take a glass node. This node is free. I'll connect this image to the pre-comp and with the texture. Take this control and connect this to the roto paint. I will increase this value. I'll make it 35. I'll take a grade and make this one. Okay, I spent some time and did this kind of grading on this and added defocus as well. We can't simply use it like this. I'll take a key mix and add it here and use the key mix mask to that shape we have, so that we are now reading that displacement only in that patterns. Keep the key mix values less, like 0.2 or something, or make it 0.3. I just want this kind of hint in the vein patterns on the skin. And now let's track that using this smart vector, so that it will be tracked with the plate. I will take one more node like iTransform, use this control mask to the, using this control mask I will just connect this to this mat and just simply just move it a bit. Like if I go to this frame, we are seeing some kind of deformation happening. This node is free too, I have shared the link. Now I want to add some bloom on the shot. I will take a keyer, crunch it. I'm just taking the red channel and take a pre-mult. I'll take a blur node and keep the values super high, and I will just merge it, plus and less. I have one more gizmo called OpticalGlow. I'll use this too to add some glow. Play with the values. I'll make it more intense and merge it on the plate using plus mode. We are reading this kind of glow, but I think this pattern is getting too bright and weird. I should not use the red keyer. I will just use the Luma key. Okay, that's fixed. Now it's too heavy. I'll just pre-comp it. Now let's assume that this has a lot of temperature, and because of that we should read kind of heat distortion on his face, or on this area at least. So let's add that. I'll take heat distortion node again, connect it to the plate this time. Okay, we're reading that, but it's too high. I'll just tweak some values and make it subtle. I'll just make it 42. I just spent some time on these values and played a lot with these values and see which one is fitting well. I think these values are good. Let's play this and see. That's cool. Now I want to use this on selected part. I'll just take a mask and do a big mask here. Now my heat distortion is only affecting to that mask. Very simple. My shot looks so subtle. I want to add some camera shake too. The camera looks very locked. I'll use a camera shake node and just remove the motion blur. I'll make the amplitude 50 and this frequency I'll just play it less, and I want like that kind of motion on the plate or on the comp. Let's add some 2D ashes, like ash particle or something, because we have added some fire here, so I think that would give more drama to the shot. I have this snow particles. I have already used it in multiple shots. Using that I can create the ash particle, like I can reformat it. I'll take a constant node, make the ash color something like this. Just take a shuffle node and tick on this alpha and mask it. I'll just take a keyer, and now we have the alpha in the element, and I'll just add it on the plate. Okay, so we're reading this ash particles. I will just transform it. Okay, that is cool. Now I want to add some moving smoke also, because we have added fire. I want to add some moving smoke on the FG. I'll take a noise pass. I'll keep the value super high, like 1000. Merge it on the plate or on the comp. I will take a constant node, mask it, give some motion to the noise, move it from this point to this point. I'll keep the values. I want to make it too fast, so I'll keep the values too high, like, and if I play it, we are adding this in the FG, that's why I'm keeping it too fast. And if I see the mask, it look like smoke pass is moving in the FG. Okay, so we are already getting that kind of mist or fog, or that smoke is moving on the FG. Since this smoke is looking too dense, I can just play with this mix as well. Like I can keep it 0.6 for my shot, and this, I don't want to read it too strong, that's why just keeping it less as possible. I want to add some more bloom to the shot. I'll use the pre-comp, use the keyer again. I'll pre-mult it. I just masked it, and I'll take an OpticalGlow node. I'll change some values and just merge it on the comp. I want to make it a bit brighter. I'll take a grade node and make it something like this, and this is fine. Now this is getting too heavy. I'll just do a pre-comp and do the final grading and do the final comp render. Okay, I have this pre-comp now. I am adding some lens flare and final grading, and I want to add crop as well, like cinematic crop to the shot. And let's do that first. I'll take a constant as always, make this alpha 1. I'll keep it RGBA, merge it on the plate, take a roto and just give this lines, and taking those lines as a reference, I'll draw roto shapes. Okay, now I have the cinematic crop. I want to give some zoom effect, like punch in the shot, so let's do that. I'll take a transform node, and around 230 frame I'll keep it same. I want to show that once the eyes are glowing more brighter, then the camera will zoom, like around 230. Lock these keys, and in just 5 frames I'll give the first punch. I'll make it 1.4, and I'll just move the shot in frame. I don't want to lose the details on this crop, so I will just move the shot, and then this shot will play like this till 250. I will just give one more key to 250, and again in just 2 or 3 frames we'll get one more punch in like this, and I'll just move my shot a bit more. So now we have punch 1 and punch 2. When this thing happens, our camera might take some time to get the object in focus, so let's mimic that, or just try to add this by defocus. I'll take defocus and just animate some values, like around 230 everything is okay because now there is no zoom effect. I'll just give the keys 0 here, and scaling also make it 0. Just in 5 frames I'll just make this blur go 13 and make the scale 1. And around 242 a shot will be in focus again. Let's make it 0, but on second punch it will repeat again. On 255, 262 we will read some defocus like 7, and in just 2-3 frames it will be clear again. Now I have this punch in and defocus effect. I will add some lens flare to the shot. I have this anamorphic lens flare element. I'll just take any one frame, like I'll take this frame. This is good hint. I'll just add it on the plate and animate it whenever the shot is getting brighter, or randomly you can add it as per your need. I'll just transform it, keep it here, and then I can just use it multiple frames. I want to add this lens flare to bring some drama in the shot, so when he is opening his eyes the lens flare will appear. I'll just use the mix values. I'll keep it 0 here. Once you open the eyes we see some hint of the lens flare, like only less values, not completely 1. In 50 frames or 60 frames it will get disappear or get less, like that. Now I can do this thing for multiple frames, like when the shot is getting brighter we can do it here as well. I'll just remove these old values from the copied merge, and around this frame I want to keep it from this angle, so I will just transform it indifferently. And 200 frame it's less bright eyes, so I'll keep it 0, and when the eyes are getting more brighter I'll just slightly bring that lens flare in, and somewhere here I'll just reduce it, and when that zoom happens I can bring it more again here, like that. You can play and see how that looks. I have a lens flare node called Auto Flare. This is a free plugin or gizmo. You can download it. I will share the link. Just connect it to the plate and see it's quite heavy. You get this kind of effect. I don't want to make any changes in the lens flare. I'll just do a pre-comp because it's kind of heavy to run in real time. I have rendered this and this look like this. I don't want to use it too strong. I will simply merge it and keep some values less. Keep it on plus mode, and I'll use very less values, so we get this kind of flaring thing. This is really cool node, but this is very heavy. Use it as per your need. I think this is looking good already. I just want to do some color grading and our shot is done. I'll take a color correction node, make it green or bit blue for this frame and see. I'll also take down the gamma to keep it 0.6. Play with the shadows a bit and highlights. I'll just reduce, and I'll just use one more grade and make this part warmer, but I'll just use that grade only to this area and make it more gradiently different. I'll use a merge node and I'll keep it on geometry, and I'll keep the values less. So if I see this here and here, we getting kind of grading. So it's giving some kind of greenish value on his skin, which is why I did that. Because of this crop, we're losing the plate from this part, and I want to read that part because that is the storytelling thing. I'll just add a transform and drag it down like -51, and that is good. I was thinking of adding a grain because this is a movie and adding a grain will bring more noisy feel, which is good. So I'll just simply add any preset and make the values less, and that is quite good because we're adding some grain. And that's it. That is our whole comp here, and this is my final output. This shot will be easy once you start doing it from stepwise, like adding the details in the eyes, adding that veins in his skin, getting that bloom, getting that glow, and some 2D elements and overall camera shake and stuff, and some punch in punch out thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or anything, please let me know in the comments, and see you in the next video. Thank you.